Last week, a student called me panicking. He just scaled from 1 to 5 ATMs in 3 months, and now he was drowning in service calls, cash runs, and angry store owners. I smiled because I made the exact same mistake, but what I learned from that chaos became the foundation of my entire ATM empire. This is what I wish somebody had told me. The first year of my ATM business was filled with excitement. I was constantly getting new locations, and that's always exciting. Finding out, hey, you're going to put an ATM in a location, ordering the ATM, installing the ATM, and then looking at the app to see how many transactions I did in a given amount of period over the week, and then looking at that and say, wow, I'm making this extra money. When I'm sitting here on my couch, I'm making money. That was exciting. But there can be chaos associated with that excitement between running multiple service calls, running out of cash, getting cash demands, and trying to be in 2 places at once. If you don't set up this ATM business correctly, you'll be what I consider hustling backwards. Sometimes you reach your breaking point. It takes the same amount of effort to go into a bad location as it does into a good location. More ATMs doesn't necessarily mean more money. Sometimes you put an ATM, turns out to be a bad location, or you set the deal up incorrectly. Setting a bad deal put undue pressure on me and undue stress. Stress that I was trying to avoid. I started doing the ATM business not to put additional stress in my life, but to take the stress off of it. So what I was about to do is realize how to enable these principles to make my life a lot easier. Systems before scale principles. The idea that slowing down actually helps you to scale faster. Most operators focus on adding machines when they should be building a system and growing principles. You need a complete system of managing multiple ATMs, 1 to 5, 5 to 10 ATMs, and then again 10 to 20. Number 1, you need service guidelines, which means how often are you going to service your ATM when there's a service call? Are you going to respond to that service call inside of 4 hours, the same day, or the next day? You have to have those clear principles when you go into a location and you talk to the business owner. For us, we do it inside of 4 hours. But there was a time when I said, you know what? Next day service is where we were. I had too many things on my plate to provide 4-hour service, so I just let the store owner know if the ATM breaks down, we will be there the next day. Number 2, managing cash when you go to add another ATM. We set a guideline. We were going to have at least $4,000 of cash on hand before we added our next ATM, therefore not running into cash constraints. This also gave us the ability to have cash on the weekends or in case of a cash run. So if there was a cash run and the ATM started getting low on cash and we had to stockpile that ATM full of cash, we had an additional $4,000 just for emergency purposes. Number 3, you need a system that allows you to forecast cash. What I did is I broke it down and looked over a long period of time. Right now, we currently evaluate between 12 and 18 months of data every day to figure out where our cash forecasting is and when are we going to need cash in the future. Can we lower it on this ATM? Do we need to raise it on this ATM? Managing that cash on a weekly basis to figure out where the trends are is very helpful. When you first start out, you don't have that historical data, but as you grow your business, you will start to see the trends. Sometimes the summer months are more intense for cash. Winter months are lower, depending on where you are in the country. You'll need to know these cash guidelines, but this helps you manage service calls. And number 4, communicating with locations for special events. So you have a location, let's say it's in a bar, they're going to have an anniversary party, they're going to have an influx of 200 people, they're going to need some extra cash during that event. Communicating with the owners for those special events. Also realizing the trends. We're coming up on tax season, and a lot of times during tax season, people get their tax returns, they go to ATMs to get cash. This is a big extra draw of cash during February, March, and April. And number 5, always ask for referrals. When you're talking to the location owner, you're in there for a service call, always talk to the store owner, sometimes the manager, whoever's there. Hey, do you know anybody else that could use our services? I'm here in the area. Number 6, you need a backup of parts for every 5 ATMs. I always suggest to students and other people who are just entering the business, when you get to 5 ATMs, keep an extra ATM on hand. This will allow you to A, have an ATM quickly to move into a new location, or B, you have an ATM on hand in case you need an extra part. Keypad, card reader, dispenser, screen. If you're buying new, most of the time you will not need these parts for 3 to 5 years. However, it's always nice to have that extra part just in case your ATM goes down. Something could happen, you're going to need that extra. Keep that extra ATM on hand. The ATM business is an easy one if you set up principles and guidelines to help manage your stress level and keep extra of everything. Where you run into stress, where you run into problems, is when you can't solve a problem. You're running out of part, it's a Friday, you can't get parts for 4 days. This is a problem, this is a headache, this will put undue pressure on you. Now your ATM's down, the owner's asking you when it's going to be fixed. You don't know because now it's Friday, you can't communicate to get a part until maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. You have your extra parts, you eliminate that challenge. You have extra cash, eliminate cash constraints. And if you quickly guide the people when your service hours are, you eliminate that amount of stress. And then when you become a real expert, you can carry extra parts with you, an extra keypad, an extra card reader. You don't necessarily have to keep an extra dispenser with you, but from time to time, it's always good to have it at your home or your home office just in case you need it. So if you're thinking about starting your own ATM business, I want to invite you to our free checklist entitled ATM Business Passive Income Checklist, the 5 things you need to know to start your profitable ATM business so you can have a clear roadmap towards ATM business success. You can earn between $250 and $1,500 passive income every single month. All right, thank you guys very much, and we'll see you at the next ATM Mastermind video.